Welcome back, trainers. So Niantic did it again, folks. For the month of March, we have a ton of new shinies, including legendaries, being introduced, as well as non-legendary shinies. We're going to be going over all the information you need to know. So before we get into the information, please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, share it with your friends who may find this interesting, and let's go ahead and get into this. So big shout out to Couple of Gaming for putting all of these images together so fast. I will be leaving a link to their Twitter in the description so you can go ahead and follow them, turn on notifications for them, as well as saving these images. So let's go ahead and get into all of the stuff that's going on here. So in March, it looks like those spotlight hours that are going to be taking place from 6 to 7. If you did not know that, there were like a little of experiment Niantic was doing, but it looks like they're going to continue doing this going forward. Nothing has officially been announced as to what we can expect for whatever specific Pokemon that is going to be increased spawn for that 1 hour period, as well as the mystery hour. Nothing has been announced, so look forward to that. We did get times to catch Stardust for the last mystery hour, and then for the Pokemon Spotlight hour, it was just a bunch of increased spawns. But before that, we had other Pokemon that potentially could be a shiny, in which I got a shiny every single time, not even trying, because of the massive increased spawns at my house. So on March 1st, we're going to be getting the raid day, starting at 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. your local time, in which you're going to be able to get 5 free raid passes and an increased chance to get a shiny. So that is going to be nice, and good luck on that day. And then moving forward on March, we're going to have a new Giovanni with a new Shadow Legendary, which is going to be Entei. So that is going to be nice. We're going to be able to get those gloves and pants if you are consistently doing those Giovanni tasks and completing them. And then for the breakthrough box, we're going to have Pharaoh Seed. So if you do not have one of those, look forward to that. You're going to be able to get yourself some more candies as well as that Pharaoh Seed. And then we have Thundurus starting on March 2nd. There was no end date, and we're going to be going more over that here in just a moment. And then from March 6th until the 9th, we will have Team Go Rocket themed Pokemon, as well as Absol spawning in the wild. So that's going to be nice if you're going to be able to possibly find yourself a shiny there. And then the 6 previous Team Go Rocket leaders are going to be available, meaning the previous sets that they did have with their shiny potential Pokemon in the front are all going to be available. So I would assume as you go out there, it's just going to be a random set on what they do have. You're also going to be able to TM away frustration. We're going to be going over more of that here in just a moment, as well as one of my favorites, like I said, Shiny Skorupi being released. Let's go. All right, guys, now we're heating up here. Shiny Darkrai will be available from March 6th until March 9th in 5-star rates. Now, that is pretty crazy, folks. Shiny Darkrai. Darkrai is absolutely fantastic as it is, so having a shiny possibility is going to be quite amazing. Now, we did have that dilemma in which it was a tougher raid, a little bit higher on the HPN. We'll just see what they do for it when it does return. And then we're going to have Giratina from March 13th until March 16th. Now, although you're bored of possibly Giratina because you've been around every time it was released, well, we do have the Go Battle League, in which it is quite prevalent and usable for that online PvP. So you may want to get out there and get yourself one. If you were not around, well, this is the time to go and get one, as well as possibly getting yourself that shiny. And then from March 20th until the 23rd, normal, fire, water, electric, and ice type Pokemon in the wild. And then we're going to have bug, steel type theme raids, as well as Shelmet and Aeroblast in 5-kilometer eggs. And then Nincada in the wild, as well as 5-kilometer eggs, shiny Nincada release. So if you're wondering, well, how are we going to get the Nincada? It's rare. Well, it's going to be hatching out of 5-kilometer eggs and in the wild, as well as that shiny release. And then moving on to March 20th until the 23rd, Cobalion will be making a return, not only with a signature move, Sacred Sword, but with a shiny release as well. So this is another reason why, folks, I do not power up a ton of legendaries, because here you go. If you powered up a Cobalion, now it's going to have Sacred Sword, which we do not know the numbers, but I'm going to take a wild guess and just say, yeah, it's probably going to be pretty good. From March 27th until the 30th, Psychic type Pokemon in the wild, raids, eggs, and in field research. Now, wow, here we go. Shiny Baltoy and the release of new Gen 5 Solosis and Gothita. So Solosis will be spawning during the daytime and Gothita will be spawning during the night. They do go on to say that they will be in the wild, as well as 5-kilometer eggs after the event is over. But during the event, you will be able to find those in 2-kilometer eggs as well. Feeling a little bit overwhelmed here. Check it out. We are not obligated to have to do these, right? I mean, this is a game that is just continuously moving. And it looks like they have plans to just continue to push these events. I wouldn't say every month, but hey, they've started off the year real strong here. And then finally, at the end here, we have from March 27th until the 30th, coinciding with the Psychic-type Pokemon, we have Lugia returning. But there's also something special here. Lugia obviously has been really shiny, but it's going to receive an exclusive move, Aeroblast, folks. This is big. This is very, very big. Lugia is an amazing Pokemon. We have Go Battle League. This is going to be changing the game. Not like dramatically, but hey, 2 signature moves being released alongside with their shinies. We have Cobalion with Sacred Sword, and then we have Lugia with Aeroblast. Oh, right. Let's go, Niantic. Thank you. But like I've said previously, folks, when a legendary is first released, you may want to hold off on powering them up because they will possibly get a signature move in the future. Now, if they're meta relevant right off the bat, then, you know, go for it. Like Dark Rai, that thing is fine. You can go ahead and do that. But I wouldn't necessarily make a full team of Pokemon that are not too meta relevant because they're going to get their signature moves later down the line. Moving on to some more Rocket news. Saturday, March 7th. This is my birthday, folks. This is lit. Let's go from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. You're going to see the Rocket takeover again, kind of like where every stop becomes infested with Rocket grunts. But not only that, they go on to say if you do have your Rocket Radar as well as your Super Rocket Radar, you're going to be able to find the leaders easier as well as Giovanni. Now, what does that mean, Giovanni? I'm assuming there's going to be less decoys, so you're going to be able to find it easier. Not a bunch of Giovannis everywhere. I thought that's what it was at first, but I thought about it. I was like, no, there's no way. Let's get that badge real high now. During these 3-hour periods. But anyways, no, so this is looking great. You're going to be able to go out there and take care of business, maybe even find yourself a shiny shadow Pokemon. Now, let's go back to where they said we're going to be able to TM away frustration on shadow Pokemon. This is big, folks, and I wouldn't say go through all your Pokemon and start TMing away the frustration. More of the Pokemon that you think that you definitely want to keep because you don't want to waste charge TMs like that. So this is going to be very interesting, especially for the people who actually have maxed out shadow Pokemon. This is very interesting. We also see in the game where it says shadow bonus. What does that mean? We do not exactly know yet, but we do know within the code it said that the purified Pokemon are going to be doing more damage to the shadows. So very interesting to see how this all plays out. You're also going to be getting more Stardust for taking out Team Go Rocket Grunt, so that's another bonus for people who like to go out there and do those. So I'm pretty excited for this because it's on my birthday, and as you all may know, I'm a big Team Rocket fan, so this is just going to work out great. Now, I did ask a few of my followers to share with me their powered up shadow Pokemon with a secondary move, and we have Tyler here. Appreciate the image with a powered up Dragonite and a secondary move. He's going to be able to TM away frustration to receive whatever move Dragonite does have in its move pool that he so chooses to have. Very nice. And then we have Festus here with a completely maxed out Tyranitar and a secondary move. Folks, this is not cheap. This is definitely not cheap. Go to your shadow Pokemon on some of them and see how much it costs for the Giratina and for the Larvitar. Very expensive, as well as powering them up. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at all of the counters going up against the legendaries for the month of March. All of these counter lists are going to be from Pokebattler, link in the description. So going up against Thundurus, we do have Rampardos in that #1 spot with Smackdown and Rock Slide. It's going to take 550 seconds to win, as well as 31 of those Rampardos. But taking a look at Rhyperior with Smackdown and the Community Day move Rock Wrecker, it is only going to take 14 of those and a time to win of 590. A little bit behind, but still it's going to take a lot less. And then you have your other counters followed up behind it respectfully. So whatever you have lined up, go ahead and go in there with those. It shouldn't be too difficult, and yes, you can definitely duo this. Now taking a look at an image from Couple of Gaming here, 100% IV is going to be 1911, weather boosted under rainy or windy is going to be 2389, and then you have your counters as well as the move sets. Now going up against Giratina, we've all done this before, but for the newer players, let's go ahead and go over this. We have Rayquaza at the top with Dragon Tail and Outrage. It's going to take 28 of those with a time to win of 701 seconds. And then Palkia with Dragon Tail and Draco Meteor. It's going to take 23 of those with a time to win of 720 seconds. And then followed up respectfully by the other Dragon types, Salamence with Dragon Tail and Outrage, Haxorus with Dragon Tail and Dragon Claw. I don't really recommend you powering up one of those because it's going to probably get a community day. And then we have Garchomp with Dragon Tail and Outrage. That one, make yourself a couple. I mean, Garchomp's a really awesome Pokemon. If anything, just one. And then you have your other counters followed up there. And then taking a look, 100% IV is going to be 1931. Weather boosted under windy or foggy weather is going to be 2414. I kind of chuckle there because what's foggy weather? I don't see that ever. I know some of you do. Taking a look at Cobalion's top counters. Now, it was a tough duo before, folks, but it's going to be a whole lot easier now because of Lucario. Let's go. It's going to be a lot easier. Okay, so counter and Aura Sphere, it's going to take 35 of those with a time to win of 636 seconds. And then you have Chandelure with Fire Spin and Overheat. Conkeldurr, of course, with counter Dynamic Punch. It's going to take 23 of those. Now, if you're looking at two Germanitans and you're like, what's going on there? One of those is Zen Mode, number 6. It's not even in the game. Volcarona, not even in the game yet. So basically, you can bump up those other Pokemon there to their respected spots as well. And of course, in cloudy weather, the fighting types are going to get a boost. In sunny weather, the fire types are going to get a boost. So I was able to duo this a while back, and it was quite difficult to say the least. But with Lucario, like I said, it's going to be a lot easier. 100% is going to be 1727. And then weather boosted under snowy or cloudy is going to be 2159. And there you have the counters yet again, as well as all the moves. Now, looking at Lugia here, for the people who've done a ton of these and you're like, well, I'm not interested, I don't care at all, I don't even really need a shiny anymore, well, it's going to receive a signature move, so you probably want to get out there and do this. So the top counter is going to be Dark Rai with Snarl and Shadow Ball. It's going to take 39 of those with a time to win of 1,027 seconds. And then you have Giratina Origin Form with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball. It's going to take 32 of those with a time to win of 1,054 seconds, followed up by the other counters here. As you can see right here with the Community Day move, Rock Wrecker is showing up quite a bit because, well, it is really good now with that nice signature move. And then taking a look at 100% IV, 2115, weather boosted under windy weather is going to be 2645. And there you have all the moves as well as a clean list of the counters. Going up against Dark Rai, personally, the one that I'm going to be pursuing the hardest because it is meta relevant and the shiny looks amazing. So the top counter is going to be Conkeldurr with counter Dynamic Punch. It's going to take 47 of those, and then Lucario with counter and Aura Sphere is going to take 67 of those. So the Conkeldurr is going to have a time to win of 1,021 seconds, while the Lucario is going to be at 1,024. What's going on here is Conkeldurr is not too far behind Lucario in damage, but it is bulkier, so it's going to be able to last. It's going to have a higher TDO, so therefore it's going to be the #1 counter, followed up by the prior King of Fighters, Machamp, with counter Dynamic Punch. Previously was going to be the best. It's going to take quite a few of those, but it's going to take a lot more Lucarios because Lucario is a lot squishier. And then you have the rest of the counters, which are going to be mostly fighting, and then you have a Togekiss there. So basically, you want cloudy weather. Going up against this, you want cloudy weather because you want that fighting boost, you want the possible fairy boost, and that's going to help you out quite a bit to take this out. And like I said previously, this is probably going to be the one you want to pursue the most, as well as probably the Lugia with Aeroblast, right? So the 100% IV is going to be 2136. Weather boosted under foggy weather, which I'll probably never see weather boosted, is going to be 2671. So there you have it, folks. Just wanted to give you the rundown of what's going on here. Quite exciting. Please tell me in the comments below, which shiny are you most excited for and which one are you looking forward to catching and getting first? Personally, for myself, what do you think? I am going to go for Skorupis. Well, I'm going to go for anything I can possibly get, but Skorupi is looking good, and so is Dark Rai. Anyways, thank you for watching yet again, trainers. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.